You will not believe the day I had yesterday.
Oh yeah? What happened?
Number 1, irregular verbs with 3 different forms. It began in the morning, that's begin, began, begun. When my alarm clock rang, that's ring, rang, rung. I threw off the covers, that's throw, threw, thrown, and flew out of bed, that's fly, flew, flown. I took a quick shower, that's take, took, taken. Then shook out my hair, that's shake, shook, shaken. But mistook the whipped cream for mousse. That's mistake, mistook, mistaken. So I swore like a sailor. That's swear, swore, sworn. And wore an old hat. That's wear, wore, worn. Then tore out of there. That's tear, tore, torn. I rode my bike fast. That's ride, rode, ridden. Rising up off the seat. That's rise, rose, risen. I sprang down the road. That's spring, sprang, sprung. It was cold, but I sang to keep warm. That's sing, sang, sung. Oh no, please do not tell me you sang on your bike again. That's the 3rd time this week. Hey, come on. My voice isn't that bad, is it? Yes, it is. Anyway, I blew through the town. That's blow, blew, blown. I knew just where I was going. That's know, knew, known. But I forgot about the pothole. That's forget, forgot, forgotten. And so I fell. That's fall, fell, fallen. A familiar voice spoke to me. That's speak, spoke, spoken. So I stole a glance upward. That's steal, stole, stolen. And oh my God, you are never going to believe it. It was my ex-boyfriend asking if I was okay. You know, yeah, the one with the rubber chicken.
What? Really?
Yes!
That's crazy.
I know.
What did you do?
What any self-respecting independent woman would do, of course. Yeah, okay, I'll be honest. My brain broke down. That's break, broke, broken. And I totally froze. That's freeze, froze, frozen. I hid my face in my hands. That's hide, hid, hidden. And I bit on my lip. That's bite, bit, bitten. I hadn't even written him after the breakup. That's write, wrote, written.
Give me another chance.
He said, that's give, gave, given.
Forgive me for the chicken.
That's forgive, forgave, forgiven. I chose my words carefully. That's choose, chose, chosen, which is when I awoke. That's awake, awoke, awoken.
So wait.
This was all a dream? Like in one of those weird 90s movies where you find out at the end that everything was just the character dreaming? No. I just mean that I metaphorically awoke. You know, I realized that I should give him another chance.
Oh, okay.
I drank a coffee, that's drink, drank, drunk, but he drank a tea and it stink, stank, stunk, which caused my appetite to sink, sank, sunk. Thoughts swam around in my brain. That's swim, swam, swum. And in the end, I just couldn't do it. That's do, did, done. So I left.
You left?
Well, did you at least finish your coffee first? Of course.
Okay, and then what did you do?
I had a really lovely afternoon, actually. Number 2, irregular verbs with 2 different forms. I fed the birds at the pond. That's feed, fed, fed. And read Homer in the park. That's read, read, read.
The whole book? What?
I led a parade through the town. That's lead, led, led.
A parade?
And bred 2 pandas at the zoo. That's breed, bred, bred.
You're crazy, girl.
I sent an email to a long-lost friend. That's send, sent, sent. And spent some time at a carnival. That's spend, spent, spent. I even bent a pencil with my mind. That's bend, bent, bent.
What?
I built a castle on the beach. That's build, built, built. And felt the water with my hands. That's feel, felt, felt.
A beach? There's no beach around here and it's the middle of winter.
I bought an ice fishing rod. That's buy, bought, bought. And caught a nice big trout. That's catch, caught, caught. I even left the country. That's leave, left, left. And met with the queen. That's meet, met, met. I told her what I think. That's tell, told, told. And got an autographed photo, which I sell, sold. I struck it rich. That's strike, struck, struck. And stuck it to the man. That's stick, stuck, stuck. Oh no, did you quit your job? I stood up to my boss. That's stand, stood, stood. Oh, believe me, the boss understood. I thought about life. That's think, thought, and sought advice from a yogi. That's seek, sought.
Yeah, well, that's good. I think you could use some perspective.
He taught me about life. That's teach, taught, and brought me back down to earth. That's bring, brought.
Oh, thank God.
Number 3, irregular verbs with one form. So that evening I shut out the worries. That's shut, and cut up some cheese. That's cut. You know how I just love cheese and crackers. Yeah, I know, it's your comfort food. Yes, exactly. Cheese, crackers, some grapes, a little bit of wine, maybe some cucumbers, some apples. Sorry, yes, I was saying. I let my mind wander. That's let, and allowed nothing to upset me. That's upset. So, yesterday, yes, I quit my job. That's quit, and split up again with my boyfriend. That's split. But it just didn't fit. That's fit. And then I hit the hay. That's hit. Number 4, extremely irregular verbs. I hope you enjoyed my little poem there, and I hope it helps you learn those pesky irregular verbs. But there's one more important thing to know about irregular verbs, and that is that some irregular verbs are actually even more of a pain in the butt because they have different forms in American and British English. Burned versus burnt, dreamed versus dreamt, learned versus learnt, smelled versus smelt, spilled versus spilt. Also be aware that in the US we say I get, I got, and I have gotten, whereas in British English it's I get, I got, and I have got. So no gotten in British English. So yes, as you've probably been told before, the irregular verbs just need to be memorized. But rhyming and playing around with them is a really great way to trick the brain into learning them without studying for hours. And therefore, my challenge to you is to write your own little poem. As you saw, it can be as weird and crazy as you'd like. The important thing is that it helps you learn. Good luck, and thanks so much for watching. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen! Still curious to learn more? Find everything super short and sweet on the Spickzettel and try some exercises on alphaLernen.